Hello friends, welcome to the very first video by Atmanirbhar Pathshala. This topic for today is trade-off and investment, and this video is made only for educational purpose and to bring clarity in financial decision making in these uncertain times. I would like to start off with the topic. Uh, this topic tries to break down the decision making process involved uh, while making an investment into fundamental levels so that you can actually open up your mindset from a traditional thinking pattern to an innovative thinking. And I have tried to give circumstances here, try to build case studies and general frameworks to make clarity in the decision making process. And I understand that given our circumstances, there is a lot of ambiguity and uncertainty uh, when we are approaching these complex ideas. Simple frameworks around which you can develop governing principles, and that can bring some light into the uh, opportunities that is available in the market and hidden from us only because our perceived risk is higher. So the world around us is changing at lightning pace, and with buzzwords like AI, blockchain, and renewable energy, uh, these are some of the words that we come across on our daily life, and we'd like to bring more clarity by developing these videos through different topics, and then we'll try to embrace these ideas to make sure that we are ready for the futuristic competition, and at the same time we are Atmanirbhar, which right now is the vision of the country. So to begin with, I'll likely classify the decision making process or into two categories. One is simple decision, that is I'll say it's a very common stuffs, clothes, accessories, smartphones, home appliances, to some little bit of higher monetary value, car, house, and travel. So these are the simple decisions that we take on a daily life basis, and we trade off something or other, like either money or our time, to achieve the end objective, which is either to be satisfied or to be happy. But there are certain decisions where we spend a little to earn actually both time and money, and that is the art of investment. There are simple decisions and then there are complicated decisions. While I have discussed about simple decisions, and that is where 90% of the crowd dangle about 80% of their life, the complex decision has a different objective. It has an objective to grow, and if done correctly can actually give you the slingshot to the moon. And this is what most people aspire to do while making this decision. So some of the decisions that I have mentioned here are, have broadly classified into what we see and what we, have that it's everywhere. It's ominous. So we have markets where we are told to invest in SIP, fixed deposits, and shares. We have businesses where people are having ideas, in terms of make in India and getting involved into different startups. Some people are trying to educate themselves, so they're getting into different courses right now. And then they have NGOs who are more inclined to social causes. And daily innovations is happening across sectors, across geographies, and most of the time is technological automation, and AI is the buzzword around it. We have blockchains trying to solve problems of transparency and speedy execution. We have green energy trying to mitigate harmful effects of climate change. So if you broadly look, these decision making can also be looked from two different lenses. I'll say not different lenses, but from a different dimension. We can look at from the monetary aspect also. These simple decisions are rather of low monetary value compared to these complicated decisions, and that's why we don't spend much time in actually trading off our money or time while taking a decision on simple category. But we take a lot of time, and you know almost get into that analysis by paralysis of analysis when we are taking a complicated decision, and make a lot of blunder here. So you can also look from the monetary aspect, these two categories. Now I have divided the financial spend idea into two dimensions, that is money value and the complexity. And you can see that if you have a free cash flow of 5 lakhs, what are the best things and how to approach about it. So let's say you have 5 lakhs free cash flow, and you want to invest in an SIP. So SIP is a slightly complex idea if you don't know about the markets, and the risk is kind of less as compared to other categories. So probably that you can designate into a, you know you can actually either delegate it or you can ask a friend, because if if you have a good friend who has an idea about the market, he can guide you on that topic, or you can ask you can take an expert's advice. But mostly I would suggest it for to go it either yourself, or you ask a friend, or you delegate it. Similarly, we have two extreme forms. One is where you can have simple decision making with very low monetary value, and then you have a complex decision with high monetary value. So I will say that with complex idea and high monetary value, you need to consult experts, and you need to do a lot of research work before taking that step, because that's where a lot of blunders happen. And most of the good to great companies that I have seen or I have experienced, they normally over a period of time try to go from simple ideas to complex ideas and create monopoly there, because that is what is not replicable. So if you have a simple, idea, maybe that is okay for time being, that is fine. But eventually, good to great companies, they transform their strategies from simple to complex so that it cannot be replicated. In this category, in this financial spend idea, I'd like to give an example of a B2C distribution, and we'll look how you know simple decision making, if uh, if we tend to think little bit more innovatively, we can actually create a competition which is not so easy to match. So we always have a B2C distribution across our industries, and that is was the major pain point is last mile delivery, and that is understandable, because we have poor transport infrastructure, we have diverse non-uniform demand across geographies, the socio-economic strata of household is different, and moreover, India has highest number of retail touch points. So almost 90 to 95% the point of sale in most category consist of these local stores at- in the high street. So you can understand it's a very difficult and a challenging task to actually create a B2C distribution network. So the simplest way to address this challenge is by offering incentive to third party distributors, wholesalers, and stock listers for executing hub and spoke distribution. But the real deal would be actually to reach out to directly these customers, and that's what good companies like Asian Paints do. They actually have completely removed all the layers of channel partners and reach directly to paint stores across the streets and offer these dealers with better last mile services. And they themselves build capabilities with technologies to forecast demands better than their competition. So that's how you can actually look, you know you can transform yourself over a period of time. And that is the most important takeaway from this video. I would like people to urge is, look at your businesses, look at your at individual capacity level, that what is happening, what is simple and what is a complex item. Is it a complex item because of things that I don't know? Is it because of the perceived risk, or is it because of something that I need to uh, improve upon, some skills that I need to bring into my businesses or at my individual capacity level? So the second video that I'm trying to make is, building a case study based on traditional and innovation thinking. So if you have liked this video, please, like and share and subscribe to the Atmanirbhar Pathshala channel, because uh, these likes and shares only makes people like us inspire and do more work on, topics that will help and allow our country to flourish. So thank you. Stay tuned for this more updates.